So after a while of doing this, you need to know that it's impossible for you to have not dissolved everything. It's impossible to have dissolved everything. You still have Jing compacted, okay? You just want to make sure to recirculate it after each few minutes of training. And the way that you two guys were doing it was very good. I'm getting ready to be hit, and just go ahead. And the reflex, his reflex was the moment the punch was coming in, it was already stepping back. That's normal. Actually, we have the Earth Fist in the first combat, then we have the Fire Fingers, which is another technique. Then you have the Heaven's Gaze, which is the hardest to grasp. Then you have the Water Stance and the Air Palm. The Water Stance is just that. The punch is coming in, you're just flowing in with it. You're not going to resist it. It's stupid. But for the purpose of the Earth Fist and to allow the other to feel the gathering of the pressure, you take it in because it's slow. In an actual fight, just boom, the other did not have the time if your punch landed. And if he did dodge, then you don't have any Jing gathering. Okay? So the goal is in the training to, like I said, to defy the actual mind state. I'm just trying to let this flow, there's a lot of chi.
My muscles are used for chi.
Yeah, just like this, that's all the Jing stuff. You're gonna go popping like this after a few hours of that. Okay? So you don't want to be stuck with the Jing, especially not in your lungs, because the lungs is where you're most sensitive to chi. That's why we're practicing on the lungs, okay? And trying not to get to the heart. So we don't go center, we don't hit the sternum. We don't want the heart to have palpitation or tachycardia, okay? We don't want that, because that Jing thing really works. So if you put electrical signals in your heart that are not meant, you know what's going to happen. It's going to have popping effect. You don't want your heart to convulse. You just want your lungs to be very sensitive, and because there's a lot of air in the lungs, you just breathe in and out, and it's already dissolving that Jing power because it's air. Okay, so for the training is the most appropriate. Then you go with the shoulders. Okay, so usually in an actual combat, you would use all your techniques from your tradition to just dodge, block, whatever. But in the training of the Earth Fist, you want to stay there to allow the other the experience of what does it feel. Once someone starts to have some kind of discomfort in the lungs or the muscles, you need to stop. Because of our animal nature, we're so much more into the affecting the other than taking care of ourselves that we allow too much Jing to compact. And then it's going to start like doing what you said, the muscle popping. What is your effect? You're okay? It just flows through?
Yeah, right now, yes.
When you got the Jing, how did it feel? Can you describe it?
Something was just moving.
Some of it was just immediately, because of your martial art experience, it was trying to come back and just kept flowing. Okay? What about you?
It was like a delay, then it compacted and then it went like this.
Okay.
Throughout the body.
Your dissolving is good. What about you?
Like a footprint, and it just slowly fades away.
Okay. And you, the twitching thing?
Well, I would take it, and then maybe I wasn't doing enough. I would take it and feel it, let it in, and then I would just kind of ground it.
That's very good. It means it works, but because we do it slowly, it will naturally recirculate. But some of the Jing stay stuck, we just don't feel it. Stay stuck in the muscle, hence the twitching, or sometimes we have other experiences. What about you?
I mean, as general, every time he hit, I was trying to absorb it and just keep pulling it as it came in, dissipated. Because I could feel it hit and feel it come through and just
Yeah.
I guess it's really, I know I was trying anything to hold.
No, that's good. That's good. Okay? It still means that it works. Okay? The thing is, when you practice this, you do 5 minutes and you stop. You'll do the other techniques that will not keep the damage in. Okay? Because the Earth Fist is what will cause the most damage. Because then this practice is just how to condense Jing with the hit. Then you can just do your ninjutsu stuff and it will still work. It will be with that. It just gets you the idea that if you can grasp the feeling very slowly, then you accelerate. And eventually just spark and just pop and do it. And then you have to be respectful. If you put a lot of chi intention in there, you have to know that the other is not aware of that, and they don't know how to circulate chi. So don't hit the torso when we practice with people who are not aware of that. You'll stay with the arms, give them a sore muscle, and that's it. The body will repair itself. But don't go to the organs, because you're going to affect more stuff. With the Jing, you're going to affect people's hormonal system. Now this is critical. You can put someone into depression if you keep hitting, even just the lungs. If you go directly for the heart on the side, right here, put too much Jing in the thymus, or do a 5 finger on the thymus, just, and you just stick it there. In the 5 fingers, there's no damage to the body. There's almost no force. It's just enough to irritate. But then it stays stuck, and that person can go into a depression. The person can have hormonal imbalance in the entire system, inability to feel loved for a while, and shit like that. That's very dramatic. You want to do this to an enemy, but not your family. You know?
How about restarting a failed heart?
Okay, what you learn in the 5 finger technique, which is what we're going to do right now, what we learn in the 5 finger could eventually get you to localize where you feel the system is disoperated. Just go on there and kickstart the heart with a higher point, lower point, or just on the side like this, because the heart is there, but tittle on the left. So you just ground it and just put it on the upper part where it actually gets its signal. Just try to punch it back. But then, it's not just the heart, it's the entire system. The heart is just one of the symptoms of someone starting to die. Okay, it's not just kickstart the heart, it's the entire will to live that you have to kickstart. Okay, because we're leaving combat, we're going to holistic therapy, and how this Om Hum Ritram system, which is, it's Hindu, actually it's called Bhaktiva Yoga. It's the practice of becoming a lord of the earth. Okay, Bhaktiva is to be a lord of the earth. So in Bhaktiva Yoga, you manage life force like you would manage your mind and your heart and your feelings and your movements. Everything is one. So it's the same Qigong, same style, but you would impose on someone a will to live. And then you do the little thing about getting the diaphragm starting and the heart just... So it's not just the heart, it's the entire body. You are alive, and then someone comes back to life after 20 minutes of death. As long as the body is still capable of handling life force, and if the being itself wants to live or continue, you can resurrect someone. We call this reanimation today in medicine, but it's what we did call resurrection a long time ago. Okay? So it takes more than just kickstart the heart, because the heart is not the only thing that stops when the heart stops. It's an entire system for multiple reasons. So the conditions required to bring together for an actual reanimation or resurrection to happen is extreme, but it's possible. And I've done it myself in the past, so I know it's possible, and some of my students do it. And even if they're not in person, in the place, just lifting the hand and commanding that natural force to come in motion, it works. But the conditions to gather together to make everything work is extremely rare and sometimes way out of our control. So if you resurrect everyone you touch, I mean, I want to become your student. Okay? You're my master, una, I bow. So yes, it's possible. I've seen it, I've done it myself. It's extremely rare. Okay? Just have to be conscious of that reality. I like small talk like this during the teaching. It allows us to flow. Do you feel that your Jing right here, from here to there, do you feel a pressure? Okay, right here, inside, because this is where a lot of the Jing gathers in that channel. When we do this, it gathers here. Okay, so you just, that's why we said just go like this. That was Earth Fist. Okay, all of this. Does it make sense? If you go fast, if you train slowly, eventually you can't train with human beings again, because one will have more densifying power than the other's ability to dilute it and make it into chi again, just flowing. So it's just to start, it's good to train with people, but you need to follow the other person's pulse, because eventually you can cause a damage that is too hard. And then you say, well, it doesn't matter, I'm going to use my power to heal him after, too late. Once something is broken, it takes some time to heal, okay? So you want to be cautious, careful, make sure you're here, and then on the side, not on the floating ribs. This is the best way to train it. Then you won't just go on the muscles. So at one point, two people in horse stance going, and then you do knee down, and then it hurts, but you learn to recirculate while still in horse stance. Go like this. You understand that? The muscles, the arms, this is where you go. That's the earth fist. We're going to practice more tomorrow and Monday. So, fire fingers. Fire fingers is to use your fingers, not necessarily the beak of crane like you've seen in ninjutsu. You can, but you lose some reach. This has more reach than that. See the difference? Sabmi? So we're just going to go typical Wing Chun. Just stay there and don't block, okay? Sometimes what I would do is just grab it and go like this. Now if I do beak, I can't reach. If I go fingers, I reach. And that was very irritating for her. I'm going to do it on the other side, okay? I would just go like this. And she would, why do you keep doing this? Because it's really bugging. You just go bang. It's just reach. If I do beak, it doesn't work. If I reach, it actually did. It's just push down. And of course I'm open here. She could do something. And now I can't do this when I try. Now you're trying to block me. Okay, now I can't. But usually when she started Wing Chun, I could just boom, boom, just fire fingers all the time. Just, shit, it irritates me. Thank you. So the thing is, you got that? You understand what I mean? So to get fingers together to hold strong, you're not going to have any physical strength. Not as a punch. The goal is to go to, okay? TCHU when you say, just, okay, is it TZ, not the TZ, just to use some kind of javelin, and you just infuse some of that chi inside little points, nervous system, to irritate it. Eventually what it does, when you're very good at it, you can use the tip of fingers, and if you have room and reach, you'll use this. You know, in ninjutsu you have this hand stance, which is a sword stance, the sword handle stance or something like that.
Bushikin, yeah.
Bushikin is with the
With the thumb, yeah. So if you do with just the thumb, it's a question of how much pressure you can apply. With the 5 fingers, it's just the thumb inside, so that both the thumb and the first knuckle are coming in. So you can cover an area. Now for the fire fingers to work, you need to disengage the typical combat to do damage to someone. Well, if I do this, I reach there, why not use the entire punch and boom? Well, sometimes you can't reach, or you're not going to use the punch here because you're going to kill the guy if you punch too hard here. So you're going to just do the 5 fingers on the point. The thing is, it's just all this pressure point thing that you've learned in many other traditions. Just put your chi in there, cause it to become jing, but it's fire. It's going to just burn. Just burn the center, okay? So because of that, again, we'll work in some of the same areas, okay? We're going to try the shoulders, we're going to try the throat a bit, not too hard on the throat, okay? Brian, would you? So not too hard on the throat, because you don't want to damage anything. But what you're going to do is just take usually this point right here is very slightly sensitive. There's nothing much going to happen, okay? As opposed to if I try to go directly on the side of the cheek or the neck, that could be too hard just to practice. So I'm just take a point that is not heavy on the actual damage I can do, and I'm just going to practice, okay? So I didn't try to go with force. I tried to go with the idea of delivering a blow, and I didn't give full impact. I just went to touch it and have some kind of fire energy to just, in my mind and in the feeling I have, try to burn or destroy just a little part of the electricity in the body. So when you want to just burn someone's ability to use his own body, so you put in certain areas, just on the side, just here, not on the side, but just a bit forward, right here, there's, at the beginning of the floating ribs, just a very, very sensitive tender spot. This is what I was hitting Sabmi all the time, just going, just thumb finger, it's like, ow. And this keeps energy always, your animal's trying to protect this, leaving her more open, less, she can't throw the punch more, because the body tries to keep it more safe. It directs the combat, and it burns the other slowly. Okay, so that's 5 fingers. And once you're good at it, just get ta and poof in one here, and he goes like if you were keeping the pressure on, and you just like ta. Wanna try it? Okay. So just identify the point, and this point is just a point of the higher function of the mind that it represents in the body. So there's not much. And just go. I'm getting my chin and so. Okay. So you see, your muscle will not be as strong for a minute or 30 seconds. It just lost a bit of its strength. So I go, okay, the way I do it, I take the point, recirculate it, and stretch out. So physically I can actually unlock the condensation I put, but you felt the difference, eh? So the goal is, that muscle is less powerful now. It's going to try to punch. This is not, the stabilizing of that pectoral muscle is not as strong. You know, when you give a punch, at one point this stays to steady the arm. You have an involvement at one point of the pectoral muscle in every punch of the left. And actually it's even in blocking your ability to resist. It's this entire channel that is hindered. Okay? Now we're going to do some tests. I'm going to do it wrong. Okay? Your left arm like this. Hold it. Okay? Just try to hold it. Okay? You have some kind of pressure there. Okay? Now relax. Okay? Hold your arm. Okay? Free that energy. Hold your arm. I got the resistance back. Okay, do you see that? It just puts an energy that prevents the muscle to function correctly. Do you understand this? Alright. So you're going to try it out with this resistance. I'm going to try it now. I'm going to try it together. So everyone does that. Boom. You do the hand test first. Resistance. Throw it. See how much you have left. Identify it. Reflow it. Like a brushing going out. Alright? So punch me right here. Okay? Actually, first resistance test with the right arm. Okay? That's how much pressure I have.
Oh,
More.
okay.
Yeah, okay, you got it. Press.
Thanks.
I'm out.
Sorry.
Free it.
I'm trying to try that.
Or like this. Put.
Difference, definitely difference.
Oh, okay. Release.
Okay. Okay, and then resistance test again. Do you see the difference? Okay. 5 finger will do this, will affect the other person's ability to be strong. Okay, so I'm going to do it on your left shoulder. Okay. Okay, and then resist, it's completely out. Okay, resist again, resist strong. That's powerful. Okay. All right. You got this. Very good. I'm just going to wait for others, and then I'm going to show the
Ah,
sign. All right.
yeah.
Thank you, Terry. And if you pay attention here, just move on the side. I'm going to show Terry. Okay, I'm going to do it this way again. That's another example. Okay, this muscle is not involved in his ability. Hold your right hand. Resist. I'm going to push. Okay, resist. This muscle is not supposed to be involved that much in this resistance. Okay? Fall back, resist. You're back. Okay? Okay, you got that? So just get that energy in there. What? You want me the head?
Oh, this is how you in the dojo. When you're
Oh, the dojo.
Why don't you take a knee?
Okay, thank you. I did not know that. I have not studied with the real Bujinkan people. Actually, I did, but it was a very long time ago, and he never kneeled. Or I never kneeled. Anyway, we were not taught this. Thank you. So, do you understand just the impact? So what you're going to try now is find a muscle, like you're resisting with your leg while he pushes down. You're going to relax, resist again, and he's going to hit, and just see how you drop your resistance. And when you get agile with that, just someone blocks, okay, you're blocking me in any way, doing martial art, okay, it's just blocking me. And usually I try to just hit his belly. It doesn't work because his arms are always blocking. So disable his arms, okay? So I'm just going to hit, and then go like this. Just try to land one at some point. You just do something, and if I can land a fire finger in those muscles around, it's just a bit slower with every block. Until he becomes so agile, like the master told me, he would go like this, it would barely touch, and my arm would fall. I couldn't move it. I was like that, shit, and then I was like this, and I had trouble breathing because part of my diaphragm was not moving when I breathe, was just disengaging the ability of the structure to function. And just we go, I'm back again, my arms, my diaphragm, everything is good. That's how powerful the fire fingers are. You disengage, if he's always using his stance, hit a fire finger right there. Okay? His entire arm will be less powerful to just take in. Now right now I have some kind of resistance. When you do Wing Chun, you have some kind of resistance. Hit here. And then it presses back. Do you understand that? Because the fire fingers is not to cause damage. It is to disable something. And once if you can't get to someone because he's always hiding on the side, you got 7 fire fingers right there. And then he's like, fuck, his leg is having trouble having the electricity to come from the nervous system. He's starting to go like that. Because whatever is exposed to you, just burn it. Okay? So you can block yourself anyway. If you have a flamethrower, forget it. That's the point. It's just burn whatever is exposed. And you start to have less ability to block, to use whatever system. Now, one guy that I've seen on video, I've never met him, but he would be so cool because what he would do is the same technique with his feet. And he would just land a feet right here, very lightly right here, and the person would fall unconscious. Because he took his fire feet right on the side, very lightly here, very fast. Just keep his mind on this, flop, just a little thing, no damage, but disengage the ability of that person to stay conscious of his body, just flop on the ground. That was pretty powerful, same kind of technique. So we're going to train now, muscles here on the side with resistance test, okay? To see sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You need to identify this, then recirculate it, alright? Try me.